Let's be real for a second. Do you ever feel like you're just stuck? Grinding away, trading your time for money, but not really moving forward? Like you're constantly working in your business instead of on it? Well, today we're going to unpack the playbook that breaks you out of that cycle. We're going to shift you from just being a worker to becoming a true leader. Okay, let's get into it.
Everything, and I mean everything, starts with a mindset shift. On one side, you've got what I call the freelancer mindset. This is where you're trading hours for dollars, you're buried in the day-to-day chaos, and you're saying yes to pretty much everything that comes your way just to keep the lights on. But on the other side, that's the CEO mindset. This is all about building a system, something that makes money without you having to be there every second. It's about working on the big picture and, crucially, having the confidence to say no to opportunities that don't fit.
And this leads us right into Act 1, the mindset trap. See, that feeling of being stuck, it's not your fault, and it's not an accident. It's a very common trap, and it's built entirely on how we've been taught to think about work.
So this is the big question you have to ask yourself. Right now, are you just building a more demanding, more stressful job for yourself? Or are you actually building a system that works for you even when you step away? Your answer to that question will literally change everything about your career path. So how do we escape the trap? Well, that leads us perfectly into Act 2, the leadership pivot. This is the turning point. This is the critical shift in your thinking that lets you break free and really start to scale up.
And it all begins with this idea right here. We have this image of a leader as someone with all the power, all the authority, right? But the real secret, the actual truth is, leadership is not about authority. It's about humility.
And I love how this slide breaks it down. The old, outdated model of authority is all about having all the answers, telling people exactly what to do, and keeping a tight grip on control. But the new model, the one that actually works, is built on humility. It's about asking the right questions, empowering your team to think for themselves, and you, as the leader, taking ownership of all the outcomes, the good and the bad. And this right here, this is the core of it all. Your real job is to work for your team, not the other way around. The second you realize that your role is to be a resource for them, to clear roadblocks out of their way, and to give them what they need to succeed, well, that's the exact moment your entire career, your entire business really starts to grow. So once you've got that mindset dialed in, we can move on to Act 3, the strategic hiring playbook. Because let's face it, you can't do this alone. So let's talk about how to build a team that actually shares this new way of thinking. You know, Jeff Bezos said it perfectly. I'd rather interview 50 people and hire no one than hire the wrong person. This isn't just some catchy phrase. It's a deep philosophy. Almost every bad hire happens because of pressure. The pressure to just get a body in a seat. Your number one strategic advantage is simply resisting that pressure. Now, Amazon literally built its empire on a few core hiring rules that any of us can adapt. The playbook is simple. Use a bar raiser to keep quality high. Hire for the future you, not the current you. Hire for your company's DNA. Use a structured process so you can move faster. And when you find truly exceptional talent, fast-track them. Okay, let's zoom in on that first one because it's a game changer. A bar raiser is basically a quality control inspector for people. It's a trained, objective interviewer who isn't even on the hiring team. They have total veto power, and their only mission is to stop a bad hire from happening and protect the company culture. And you might be wondering, does this really work? Yeah, it absolutely works. Amazon found that teams who used bar raisers consistently saw their performance jump by 30% in just 1 year. That is a huge impact from just being disciplined and objective in your hiring. But here's the catch. You can have the best hiring strategy in the world, but even the most amazing candidates can't raise your bar if their resume gets tossed in the digital trash can by a robot before a human even sees it. And this is a massive problem. Get this. A staggering 75% of all resumes are rejected by what's called an applicant tracking system, basically a bot, before they ever land in front of a real person. And this is exactly why I wanted to talk about today's sponsor, MobileCV.ai, because they've built a solution to this exact problem. So MobileCV.ai is this super smart AI tool that can take any document you have and turn it into a professional ATS-optimized CV in about 60 seconds flat. It gets you past those resume-rejecting bots because it uses these world-class latex templates that are perfectly formatted for the machines to read. Best part is, you can start with 3 free credits, no credit card needed, and build a CV that actually gets you in the door.
Okay, so you've shifted your mindset, you're hiring the right people. Now for the final piece of the puzzle. Act 4, building unstoppable momentum. This is all about making these changes stick for long-term compounding success.
The key concept here is something from Jim Collins's legendary book, Good to Great. It's called the flywheel effect. The idea is simple. Huge results don't come from one big, heroic push. They come from the slow, relentless accumulation of small, consistent actions that, over time, build unstoppable momentum. Think of a giant, heavy merry-go-round. The first push is incredibly hard, but each push after that gets easier and easier until it's spinning on its own.
So, the most important thing to remember is that greatness isn't some magical breakthrough moment. It's not about finding that one silver bullet. It's just about consistency. It's about showing up every single day and making one more push on that heavy flywheel, inch by inch, until its own momentum starts working for you.
And you can put this to work right now. First, define the handful of core actions that actually spin your flywheel. What are the 2 or 3 things that really drive progress? Second, commit to tiny, daily wins on just those things. Third, track your momentum so you can actually see the progress you're making. And finally, number 4, you have to trust the process. Most people give up right before the momentum really kicks in. Don't be one of them.
And that really brings us to the end here. The journey from worker to leader isn't some big single event. It's a process of building momentum, one push at a time. So the question I want to leave you with is this. What one action, no matter how small it seems, are you going to take today to start turning your own flywheel?